Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy John Biz. We back with another episode of Approved. Today we got my boy Smash in the building, one of the best producers in the 518. You can introduce yourself, my boy.
What's good, man? Thank you for having me, bro.
Well, we appreciate you pulling up. So, I mean, let's start from the beginning for, like, the people that don't really know you and stuff like that. Like, where you from?
Originally, I was born in New Jersey in a town called Brooklyn. Not Brooklyn, but Hoboken. I've been everywhere. But where I was raised was really Puerto Rico. That's originally where I'm from.
What part of Puerto Rico you from?
It was off the west coast, a town called Aguadilla.
Oh, yeah.
And I lived, I've been all around the island, but, that's really where I was, growing up. Went to school there, went to college there,
That's
everything.
fire.
Yeah.
My family's from Caguas.
Word?
Yeah.
That's fire.
But, yeah, that's what... So, you came out to 518 after you already graduated college from Puerto Rico?
Sort of. So, the way... things kind of transpired as I was living in PR at the time, and my mom had moved to Schenectady because she had family here, in Schenectady.
Right.
And I was still living in PR, and I chose to stay because, you were young, you got your girlfriend, you in love, blah, blah, blah. I could do this on my own type of scenario. So I decided to stay, but, I was working for a company there, sort of like a warehouse kind of company. And then eventually, I just, decided to move because my mom was like, you should move up here. Things are better here. There's more opportunity, la-di-da. So I ended up flying here and then just, immediately just started working and, living here.
Right. So what year was that?
That was 09.
09.
That's, my first job here was Walmart, and I held that job down for, 11 years, bro. I worked retail my whole young adult life.
Right.
Yeah, so it was,
I mean, after that, when you was working retail and so you was making beats in Puerto Rico and stuff like this? Or
yeah,
you just...
well, the thing is, I picked up music when I was, 12. Because, when I was a kid, my mom would get me, these little old-ass keyboards and shit like that, and I would play with it. But it wasn't until, 12 years old when I came home from school one day, and I seen this guitar. This electric guitar just chilling in the bed. I'm over here scared because I feel like it's not supposed to be mine or touched.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the one thing I remember from that is, there was, the guitar. This thing looked like a machine gun, bro. This thing was, it wasn't like a regular electric guitar.
Like a Les Paul or some shit.
Not some regular shit. This was some pointy shit, bro.
Right.
And there was a little amp on the side, and then I just plugged it in, and I couldn't even hold the guitar right. I had that, on my lap. I was just playing like that. And then I started messing with the amp, and there was this button that said boost.
Okay.
And when I hit that button, bro, that shit was making noise, but I felt like a rock star, bro. I was like, this is too much fun.
And that's how you started?
That's literally how I started.
But that's when you started getting into, music? Not necessarily beats?
Not necessarily beats. Beats didn't come until later after.
Right, okay.
But, that's when I started really getting into music and, learning songs and playing guitar. The beats thing is crazy because, that's not typically music that I grew up listening to.
Right.
Right? I picked that up later when I decided to take beat making seriously.
Okay.
So when I started making beats, it was a couple years ago because I was going to a friend of mine's house and he had this music playing in the background and I loved it.
Right.
And then I found out it was lo-fi hip-hop, which is a genre of hip-hop that's on some more calm jazzy vibes. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with it, and I'm like...
Give us an example of, an artist that would be some lo-fi hip-hop.
If you take, for example, 17 from XXXTentacion, you know what I mean? Yeah. That type of very chill, mellow kind of vibe with the vocal samples.
Smoke,
yeah.
Kind of beer, drink, and just...
It's literally
chill.
Cafe elevator music.
Shit, yeah.
Right.
But I started getting into that, and that's when I dropped my first, lo-fi tape, on all distro, because I got, obsessed with that. Started making beats like that, and then I didn't really start making the beats that I'm making now until I took the engineering side of it seriously.
Exactly.
Because it was really COVID that kickstarted that.
Okay.
COVID, I see it as a blessing and a curse, because shit was kind of going downhill, feel me, and...
Downhill, with just in the world?
Just in the world. The world was just felt different.
Right, yeah.
It was a point where... creative people had a motive to do something creative and make it their living. So in my situation was this: COVID happened. Okay. I got sick. So at work, if I show up sick, they give you 2 weeks leave, paid, completely paid. So I know for 2 weeks I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
I remember that. That's a fact.
So
that's happening to everybody.
This was September 2020.
Okay.
And I even still have it on my calendar. I have a whiteboard calendar that is still September 2020 because at the 30th, I was supposed to go back to work. So for that whole 2 weeks, I said, okay, let me try this full on. Let me try this engineering shit full on. Because I was working with some people, but I wasn't taking it seriously.
Right.
I wasn't trying to put myself out there like that.
So this is 2020. So I'm saying from 2010 when you got here to 2020,
I was, okay, so from...
You were just not even making music, or were you in a band, or what?
I was definitely in a band. I was actually in a couple bands.
So you got the guitar and then you joined the band?
Yeah, no, I completely skipped that whole
you know what I mean?
But like, but yeah, no, like in 2009, 2010, 2012, all that, I was in a band. It was like some underground, like heavy type music. We were playing shows.
Metal type shit?
Yeah, heavy stuff, bro, like mosh pit music.
Right, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the name of our band was called Scythe of Dante, if you could put that together. It was crazy music, bro.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know, like, over time, like, you know, we moved on. Everybody moved. You know what I mean? I'm still really, 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 like, this is my brother. Like, good friends with my drummer from even in that band. We have a new band now.
Oh, you still in the band?
And it's just us two with, you know, our guy Vince. We're a band called Relation.
Right.
And it's just us, a 3-piece, and we're, like, locked in like that.
And now you guys are way more polished than you were 10 years ago, bro.
Did you still play guitar in the band, or did you do something else?
Still play guitar, you know what I mean? And then for a while after the first band broke up, you know, I still kept in contact with my friend. His name is Matt. He's a drummer.
Okay.
And Matt goes and joins another band, which is the band that I end up getting in eventually because I met my other guy, Vince, who's the bass player, through Matt.
Okay.
So we started chopping it up, and then we just been a band for like 7+ years since.
So that started in 2012.
That started, damn, I can't even remember. I don't want to say 2012.
Where were you doing shows at? Like around 518?
Yeah, like Savannah's, I think, Valentine's.
You ever did that show at Bogey's?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Bogey's had the metal scene on lock for a while.
They had that on lock.
They actually let us do, like, that was where I actually threw my first hip hop show.
Really?
And it was in Bogey's, and I loved the venue. And then they were like, "Yo, this is really a metal spot. They don't be letting people come do rap here all the time."
Yeah, nah, like it was Bogey's. I can't really like say like, you know, bathroom was interesting. No, the one toilet without a stall. You know what I mean? Like
it was definitely a.
But there was some crazy shows, and we played some really good shows. Yeah.
Where else do you anywhere? What was that one spot on Central? Did you do that? I forget the name of it. It's in the corner by the little pizza store right there.
I don't remember.
Not yet, but there's plenty of spots. What about Upstate Concert Hall?
Never played Upstate Concert Hall. Nah, I would have loved that though. That place gets lit, and they book some really good bands there.
Yeah. So when you get to 2020, you start. The pandemic happens. You get trying to figure out the engineer thing. Like, where'd you start? You just when did YouTube it, or like?
Well, that's the thing. It was like a lot of trial and error, but like I've always been engineering. Like, a matter of fact, during that time, that 2012 time that I was in that band, I was engineering us.
Okay.
I was really getting into the whole production. It's something that I just did like kind of like for us. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a thing that I sought out to do, like to have as a service for like anybody else. It was just like, let me just learn this to do it for us so we don't got to pay for studio time.
Exactly.
And then the ball got rolling, and I started like getting better and started wanting to learn more and read more, and I was just like obsessed with
learning.
Just obsessed with that, and that's like one of my favorite types of content. Is like,
so what was like the first DAW you started using?
The first one was Cubase. Actually, I'm lying. It was FL Studio.
FL Studio was
Fruity
recording
Loops
on it.
3 at the time, because I was like in Puerto Rico still, and this is when I was trying to get into making reggaeton beats.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because I did tap into that, but I sold like 2 beats for $30 when I was like 13.
Nah, we got, bro. I know a bunch of Spanish artists that be wanting beats. If you still making Spanish beats, we could lock you in with them for sure.
It's such a like small market out here too, though, because there's not a whole lot of artists that I know personally that do beats like that. Because right now the wave is just like this whole drill thing and the whole sexy drill. But I be trying to mix it up sometimes.
Nah, yeah, you definitely could lock in with a couple artists.
Definitely during COVID, that's when kind of everything just took off, because like I was sort of, it's weird, it happened simultaneously. Like I was doing the engineering thing, and then the 30th of that month comes in, I have to go back to work. But the thing is, like for that 2 weeks, I was just trying to hit everybody up. Like, oh, you'll come, record here, blah, blah, blah.
And you offering it for free just so you can learn?
For some people, yes. And for some people, like I was trying to like charge to see how if I got 2 weeks to do this, how much can I earn in 2 weeks?
Let me see.
Because I want to see what the numbers are gonna be.
If I say fuck my job,
bro, swear to God, I was like, wait a minute, bro, I could really do this. Right. Like I just made in one day, like in like a couple hours, what it takes me to make 8 hours at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, this is a no-brainer. Off engineering.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like at Walmart, I was like making like $98 a day, if you think about it. Mm-hmm. I made that in 2 hours. So like it just clicked. Yeah. So as soon as I go back to work, because I used to work overnights. I used to work 10 to 7.
Right.
Because I was a maintenance associate. I used to like clean floors, strip and wax. In Glenville, yeah.
That's the big one too, right?
The big one, the superstore, yeah. Bro, I went there and I just like remember it clear as day, bro. I walk in the building. I park, bro, and I just like look up and I'm about to punch in on the time clock. I'm like, nah, bro, we're not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this no more. Right. They didn't give no 2 weeks, nothing, just dip. And then just went straight in. And then that's when I started going dummy hard, like going live almost every day. I'd be the only idiot in Schenectady at 4 a.m. making beats on a live.
Yeah, but that helped you a lot.
But I was going crazy. Like, I don't care who was watching. If it could be 1, 2, 3 viewers, like I was just doing it a lot. And I think that sort of kind of built some type of presence. And then that in tandem with engineering and people liking what they heard and speaking, good word of mouth.
I mean, that was just obviously the easy transition. If you engineering people and they in here, yo, look this beat up on YouTube, be like, you don't want to buy one of mine. Just like, brother, I got way better to beat than that YouTube shit.
Yeah, at the time, I wasn't really pushing it because I felt like at the time my beats just wasn't hitting the way I wanted to. And then I started like really, really locking in and trying to get better with it. So it's like now, it's like they'll pull up with a beat from YouTube. Right. And I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I got something like this. And they're like, yeah, you got something like that? And I'm like, play it. And it's like, fuck it, load that one up. Fuck that YouTube back. Like, fuck that YouTube beat. Yeah. And it's just a good way to pitch. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Who would you say was like the first couple artists that gave you like opportunities to like record them?
Wow, that's a hard one. Like, I mean, like artists as in like artists that are notable now, or just any...
It could be anyone. I mean, he don't have to be popping. He gave you opportunity.
So at first, I was recording a lot of artists that I was like friends with. I got a shout out to my first OG client. My first OG client, his name is BP Spill.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I think
he was there with me when I had an Acer laptop, a $20 Amazon microphone, and a shitty like audio box interface, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like he's seen the progression, I think, more than anybody aside from my close friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I think it's so hard to really like narrow like the whole opportunity thing because there's so many artists that I work with. You know what I mean? But it's
So like for me, when I was doing my beats, I started kind of getting like, because I wasn't hearing people on it. So I felt like I need to hear more people on it. I need to hear the finished product, because you can hear the beat 1,000 times.
That's a fact.
But until the person puts his whatever on it, it starts to feel like empty. So who did you feel like when that first person got in the first person that you was like, oh, this is a finished product? That's what.
Got you. I would say it's funny because it's a very, very old beat. And at the time, I wasn't really jacking it because, like, again, it was a situation where there was nobody on the beat.
Yeah.
So, you know when you, like, listen to an instrumental, it just, you feel like it's a throwaway and it's not good enough. And then somebody gets on it and the whole vibe just changed. Yes, right. Knuckles did that. Okay. Knuckles did that for me. Knuckles Brim. Like, there was a song that he dropped called No Mercy. And it was a beat that I made called No Remorse or something like that. And at first, I wasn't just like, I don't really fuck with this beat. But it was one of at the time, he needed drill type of beats.
Right.
So I sent him a pack with a couple drill beats, and he ended up picking that one. Okay. Ended up doing a whole vid to it, but it's just one of those situations where you listen to the beat and you don't see its potential till an artist gets on it. And he's not the only one at this point. It's mad artists that I work with that I'll make a beat, and I'll see it as like not the best beat in the world, and then somebody will get on it immediately and change the whole vibe.
Right. So do you like that better, or you feel like, damn, I already had a vision for this beat?
I'll be honest, like, I really don't ever have a vision whenever.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just like, the way I make beats, it's just like, I get on this autopilot mode. Right. You know what I mean? Like, And that's a blessing and a curse because when you're on autopilot trying to make something creatively, you feel like you're just doing it just because. Right. And you're not really like tapping in and trying to do something different. But sometimes like you'll see it, like sometimes I'll go live and make a beat and I'm just doing whatever. I'm picking random sounds. I'm not scrolling through option paralysis of all these sounds that I got.
You're just picking boom, 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 putting
just pick and go. I don't even mix my shits. I just be like, okay, quick level, boom, this is hitting, we're good, next one. And I had to learn to do that because like there's been situations where people literally book me. It's like, I need you to make a beat for me because like I have a song, but I don't want to use YouTube beats.
Right.
So I got like at the most maybe 10 or 15 minutes to like get this beat done.
To figure some shit out.
You know what I mean? To figure some shit out, make sure the vibes is there and they get on it and that's it.
Do you typically do the samples first, like the loops, or do you start with the drums and kicks and hi-hats, or like how do you like to start your beats?
If it's a melodic type of beat, I'll start with the loop. Okay. Typically, I start with the loop or try to kind of manipulate it or alter it to make it sound like almost like indistinguishable, especially if I'm using anything that's like a sample or something that's not like, you know what I mean, that you can't clear, I'll try to do something like that. But for the most part, for loops, I start with the melodic root, then the drums, and then I start working on my 808s, you know what I mean? Because some melodies have a chord progression and it ends with a certain note. So you want to make sure that your 808s are kind of following that whole chord progression.
Exactly. So you feel like when you make the melodic beats, those is more of your bag, or you feel like the drill beats is more of your bag?
Oh, without question, it's the drill, bro.
The drill?
It's just too easy. Like the melodic ones, I'm not gonna lie, the melodic ones are easy. It's just like, because the way I make beats too is like I gotta feel like I gotta mumble on the beat. Like if I'm making a melodic beat, I'm like literally like singing, like mumbling, saying some random words as I'm making the beat. I'm like, okay, that's a good pocket. I can see an artist like get on that.
Right.
And what I try to do now is I just try to make my beats like as minimalistic as possible, bro. Cause like I want to make sure that space for the vocal is there. Once you start adding all these crazy elements to your beat and doing all this like extra stuff, like you're taking away from that. And I feel like sometimes like a simple, like say for example, if I were to play like just a guitar and just did like a 16 bar loop, put some drums in 808s, make it sound like it's like a Polo G type beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's like another mentality that I kind of acquired, is sort of like a type beat mentality. So like I've listened to so many artists bringing beats into the studio.
You already know.
And I don't even know who the artist is. Like I didn't even know like who's Tusi, who is this? You know what I mean? But you brought a Tusi type beat and this is what that's supposed to sound like.
Right.
So my brain associates melodic, guitars, maybe Spanish sounding stuff in there, maybe some like dance hall vibes in there automatically. Same thing with Drake, wavy ass sample, usually a very low-pitched singing sample or something like that. One song, Jungle, from that one record. If you read this, it's too late.
Are you talking about Drake's Jungle song?
Yeah. So like you could already hear those vibes. So it's like my brain, when I hear a beat, it's just like I automatically associate, oh, that's this type of rapper type beat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, have you felt like you not getting the recognition as a producer, or you feel like a lot of people like acknowledge the fact that you're pretty decent and fuck with you?
Not at all, bro. Like honestly, like I'm the last person. I don't think I could even explain it. I'm like the last person to complain about that, bro. Because like, in all honesty, and it's super humbling, bro. Is like I get people shout me out all the time. I get my flowers all the time.
That's fine.
Like I can never complain. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you that I don't get enough support out here.
Right.
Like all I get is love. Feel me? Like, and I'm super grateful for that. Like. And the thing is, like, I think it could stem from, like, a couple of reasons. The most obvious one I could think of is because I'm providing something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like a... How do I explain this?
People showing love, but at the same time, they, like, kind of feel like they need you.
You know what I mean? Kind of. But the thing is, like, that kind of relationship exists from artist to engineer, artist to producer. Artist to artist is a little different. So a lot of artists just, it's a big competition. Right. So you see a lot on Facebook, people, there's not a lot of support out here. I'm moving out the 5, this, that, and the third. When in reality, that's not the case. Not the case at all. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, it's just from my experience, it's because, like, you're providing something that's helping the artist. You know what I mean? Because when artists come to record, I try to take it a step further rather than just me sitting here hitting the space bar and recording you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm already a musician. I have some concept of music theory, and if you're coming in and you have an idea, I'm gonna be compelled to take your idea and make it better.
Exactly.
And I'm not pushy about it, but I haven't gotten a complaint.
So I done ran a bunch of sessions in my day, you know what I mean? Like tracking, mixing. What's like your top 5 pet peeves, studio peeves of these artists coming through and like
I could give you the
from
first
the engineer standpoint, because obviously when you're on your producer, artist bag, you probably cool with a little bit of the shit, but like
Where's the camera?
engineer vibe.
Where's the camera? Which one's the camera? I gotta look at. Okay.
That's you, yeah.
The session doesn't start where you show up.
That's
Okay?
one.
Okay?
That's
If
one.
I say you pull up at 8 and you show up at 8:30, you're getting charged like you showed up at 8.
At 8.
Okay? Stop rapping over your song while I'm trying to mix it, please. Stop that.
That's too-
I'm trying to hear the song. I'm trying to finesse this shit. What I do?
Nah, you good. That
What'd I
was
do?
perfect.
That was like perfect timing. But yeah, it's like I'm trying to mix the song, and the artist is like screaming their lyrics in the background, and I'm like, bro, I'm
making the video. Yeah.
the live
Shit ain't even
stomping
mixed
on
yet.
the floor. It's
You
just
like,
rough as
damn,
hell.
That shit sound trash. He got the shit already on live.
But it's like it's funny because it's not really like something that really bothers me because at the end, that's how I know they really vibing with the song and how it sounds because they turn it up.
Exactly.
But it's just like sometimes, bro, like I just got to put my headphones on.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like, okay,
two. That's
do
two.
you do?
What else
That's
we
2.
got?
Damn. Okay, 5 is like we'll see. What's 3?
Are they allowed to smoke at your studio?
No, unfortunately, that's like I see that being a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker, but you're saving yourself a lot of headaches, cleaning
Realistically,
up,
it's not
all
that
types of
deep.
shit.
It's not that
that
deep.
serious.
Go to the V and smoke in the V, bro.
Right, exactly.
Pull up early. Pull up like, I don't know, 10 minutes early. You feel me? The only reason I don't I allow smoking in my studio, once upon a time I did.
Right.
But it's because like my neighbor is actually my landlord.
Okay.
And he don't jack it. So like,
Right.
you know, and before I used to let everybody smoke on the back porch too. And then eventually,
Back-
you know
gotcha.
what I mean? So it's like, that's my landlord. I'm not gonna get into it with him over some, you know what I mean?
How do you feel about artists hovering over you while you're mixing? Like, nah, yo, put the EQ, yo, 7 band that. Yo,
The one
nah,
that-
put a
the-
compression. Yo,
Bro.
take the reverb down.
Bro.
Yo, what's the bus that has the echo on it? Like,
You know, it's funny. It's seldom the times where that happens. You know what I mean? I don't have somebody saying, yo, put a third auto tune on that real quick because that's how I like my voice.
Right,
blah,
right.
blah, blah. This, that, and the third. But it doesn't happen so often. And sometimes I'll have artists that do know what they're talking about. Like they know,
Right,
like
yeah.
kind of like a sound they want, and that's cool. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's definitely cool. That's
at
more
the
of
end
a
of the way, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like you're paying for a service, bro. If you want to hear something a certain way, you want an effect. Like
Right.
I actually like when an artist knows what they're talking about because that makes my job easier.
Right.
You know, like
I guess I made it sound like the artist knew what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going off to something he don't know what he's
yeah.
talking
But the thing is, like to piggyback off what you're saying
Right.
is when artists, I'll spin it different. Is when an artist says, "Yo, can you do that thing, that effect that's on that one beat?" And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?"
about. There's a lot of effects on those
You know
one
what I mean?
beats somewhere.
And then, I want this specific gunshot on this one transition, and
Right.
now we're on YouTube looking at like a cornucopia of guns. It's
For 20
45.
minutes out the session.
No, that shit gotta sound like a 30, bro. And I'm like, all right, bro. Like some trivial shit like that,
That's
bro.
crazy.
I don't know what other pet peeves.
I mean, that's pretty probably good.
I mean, I think that's like the extent of it.
Right.
The one thing I don't like is, and this is just like kind of like a situational thing, is when an artist comes in, and this is more on my end, but like is when I'm not aware of how many people an artist is gonna bring.
Okay.
And then you're in a position where you can't accommodate the amount of people
And
that
then you
the
got
artist is
people
gonna
sitting
bring.
around
Bro, I
staying
had one time in it's an artist I work with. He's my guy. Pulls up with like had to be like 10 heads, bro. You know what I mean? And I run my shit off the crib. Anybody that knows. Feel me?
right.
But like it was a vibe, but it was just like overwhelming. It's
Right,
like,
right.
you know what I mean? So it's just like, damn. Like
So do you see yourself in the future getting like a remote or like a
I would
commercial
love
area?
to. I would love to. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's just like right now, the way things are happening, like I might have to move from where I'm at right now. So it's a lot of like, you know what I mean?
Gotta
Last
figure
minute
things
decisions
out.
that got to get made and stuff like that. And y'all know the process of moving. That shit is
that's
hectic as
life
hell.
shit.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Have you got any major placements?
I would say, well, major placements, but some pretty decent ones.
Let's not even say major. Let's just say placements.
Yeah, some pretty decent ones. Like, in terms of like local out here, like yes, like there's a lot of artists that I got on my.
I know
beats.
you worked with almost everyone out here for sure. We got to lock in. We all three of us got to lock in.
Yeah, for sure. Like I went to a showcase, artist showcase. Like 85% of the artists you can hear my producer tag on. Okay. So like that shit was like humbling. You know what I mean? When you see it's like wow, like it's a lot of people that I work with, and it's nice seeing it live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fire.
But aside from others, other placement, I actually I was talking to my guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with B-Chaps, Brian Chapinelli. He's another producer and an artist, and he's a creator too.
He's from around here?
Yeah, I think like Albany area.
Okay, cool.
And me and him started working on some projects together for sync licensing. I don't know if you guys know about like sync licensing.
No, I was gonna get in.
Yeah. So it's like you're literally making songs to pitch to certain networks to be able to use it for shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So me and him made a song on some like sports anthem kind of thing, and it ended up getting placed on NASCAR Race Hub. Fox Sports ended up buying the song from us.
Yeah,
that's fire.
You know what I mean? And he just hit me up. It's like, yo, bro, check your ass cap. We just got our song placed like on. What did he say? Hold on, I'm about to take an intermission. Boom. He said,
"Oh yeah, that's dope because if it's hitting that ass cap, that's legit."
Yeah, bro. It was okay. So at MLB post game, so it got played probably in one of the recap videos from Major League Baseball, and then in NASCAR Race Hub is pretty much kind of like, you know what I mean, those shows where they do recaps and you got the three anchors sitting talking about stuff like that. So. Got a placement on that. Me and another producer, he goes by Chris is Up.
Okay.
His name is Chris Cahill. He's super fire, bro. This
you know of him too?
Yeah.
Young kid, bro, but he's like killing it right now. He had a placement with Shot G's, I think, and then me and him just got a placement with Siggy Black.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's like some quiet emotion, but it's getting there. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, I mean, you can get it. Obviously, everyone wants the Drake placement if you're a producer, like the big name. But if you could get a bunch of the artists that are actually signed, maybe they're not A-list, but they're running around, they're getting paid from labels, and you could get payouts from that and stuff like that. That's absolutely work.
Everything, like, no matter how big or small it's a W, bro, as long as you, like, the biggest goal is, like, knowing that even if it's not big income, it's still some kind of income. Okay. You know what I mean? And it's, like, if that doesn't inspire you to take it even further, you know what I mean, and really bust your ass to make that shit work.
That's what happened to you.
You know
2 weeks inspired you.
That's really all it took, bro. 2 weeks.
So you said that you had like BP and Knuckles. Did you already know these people, or did they just follow you through the work?
I think that's a good question. I know.
Yeah, like how'd you get on the scene?
Bro,
because I've been around doing music around here from like 20.
I swear to God, bro, I wish I knew. Like, it's okay. So let me see if I could piece it together. Okay,
because I've been around for a while and I don't really remember. And then I just seen you going crazy. I'm like, yo,
I think it was just again like because the people that I met along the way that helps because that's word of mouth.
Of course.
But I think there's something that happened during the time where I was going live because the way that I was doing things is. I would just put my phone up like this, bro, and make beats. And then I think why people got drawn to the content is because I wasn't hyper fixating about the beat. Right. So I would get everybody involved. So if I'm making the beat and someone's asking me a question, I look at the chat immediately. I stop making the beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I let people in the chat is like, oh, what do you think I should add here? Like now you're getting people involved.
Exactly. That's fire.
Into music that they're not even making.
I was definitely tuned into a couple of them lives. What the fuck? Nah, that's because it just keeps hitting.
Oh, I see what's going on. All right. But I think honestly it was a...
What?
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's probably dusty. It's good.
But I think honestly it was a combination of that. It was the combination of like just me going live and interacting with people. And then, yeah, I did start adding some people. Like I started seeing like more artists on my feed and stuff like that. But it started really taking off when I started engineering for real. Like that's... what happened. Like people started talking nice. It was just word of mouth. It was just organic, good word of mouth. That's it.
Yeah, that's the best way. You showing genuine love, responding to them. They're like, oh, I go on his live. You don't even talk to me. Now they want to come back for the next one. They're like, yo, he takes all the criticism. He takes anything.
And there was just things too. I think another thing might be like just the level of service. you know, like when you work in retail for like X amount of years, bro, and you've been a manager, you've been a cashier, you've been a car pusher, you've been a maintenance person, you've pretty much mastered how to deal with people in a chaotic situation. Exactly. You know what I mean? And you know how to treat people with kindness and respect.
Retail,
so if you translate that over to your own business, you know what I mean?
You're going up.
There's only a couple rules, really. Don't be a piece of shit. Be humble. Always do good business. When you're trying to do a transaction, don't think about who's losing. You know what I mean? It's just like, just do good business.
Yeah,
it's really what it is.
That's 100%. And
you just got to be consistent with it, even when you think nobody is watching or nobody cares. Right. You just do it off of just the strength of that.
Right. So you just said transaction, and that was something I was gonna get into. So, how do you do with the new artists and like up and coming, and maybe an artist don't have the funds, but he still want to work with you, or like, do you like give them a throwaway? Do you give them something that you probably, you felt like wasn't that, or do you just give them like, in the later on we'll figure it out,
It's gotta like really motivate me, because I've had artists that like in his young kids, bro, like, and they like super nice and they sound good, and I'm like, nah, I gotta get him in one of my beats, feel me? And then I'll just like send them a bunch. Yeah. A bunch of beats, you know what I mean? A lot of it is just off of strength that, you know what I mean? You like the music that they're making. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like funds, like, bro, I only lease my beats for $25. I could take a $25 loss just so the artist can get on the beat. To me, it's just the longevity. Not so much about the bag, bro, because it's I don't
even mean to cut you off.
Oh, you
can you explain that though? Like the leasings, remember you wanted to ask about
I was saying the links, the
linksies, the leasing.
The leasing and the
So can you explain to the artist watching, like, if the difference between if they leased your beat or if they bought your beat?
Okay, so this is a big misconception. So I'm going to use BeatStars as like a platform, because that's where a lot of producers sell their beats. Okay. Leasing, think about it as a safety net. You're leasing this beat at a lower cost so that you can use it and have rights to use it. So you can have rights to use this lease for when you drop it, you don't got the producer hunting you down trying to run your pockets, right? Now, typically...
So if it becomes a hit record and it's leased, the $25 is all the producer would get, or how does that, would they work out of royalty plan?
So here's the thing. A lease is a lease, and it's always available. So 5 artists can lease the same beat.
Exactly.
Right? So this is why this market is super competitive in terms of artists, not the producer. The producer's chilling. You know what I mean?
25.
You feel me? So let's say, for example, I'll break it down real quick into three sections. So you got your basic lease. Sometimes you get, say, for example, for a basic lease, I charge $25.
Okay.
For an unlimited lease, I'll charge $50. And then there's exclusive, which I try to leave open for negotiation. There's no price on that. We just got to talk about it.
And basic is basically up to a certain amount of views,
a certain amount of streams. Usually it's just the MP3.
A video, not like a reel, maybe not necessarily a whole video.
Yep. You'll see all the terms based on what license.
Yeah. So in that lease.
In that specific lease.
In the basic.
In the basic,
opposed to the unlimited.
Exactly, as opposed to the unlimited, maybe on BeatStars. So maybe like like if I do an unlimited, you're allowed one music video, one like a radio interview or whatever. It allows. You're allocated a certain amount of streams before you have to release the beat again. So say for example, just as for the sake of argument, you bought a $25 lease and that allocates you 500,000 streams.
Right.
Okay. If you hit 500,000 streams, you're going to have to release the beat again. You're going to have to renew the agreement because you pretty much just spent all that. You ran your song through that.
Right.
So pretty much the second upgrade is a higher version of that. So you get more streams. You'll get the MP3, maybe the wave, and maybe the stems to that beat. You know what I mean? Okay. Which is super beneficial if you're working with an engineer that prefers to work with stems as opposed to what they call a 2-track, which is an MP3 file.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think where the artists really lose track is the whole exclusive thing. I'm sorry. Exclusive doesn't mean you own the beat. Okay. It means you own exclusive licensing, meaning that if I make a beat and you bought it, and this is why exclusive beats are so expensive, and this is why producers are more apprehensive to not sell exclusives, because once I sell you an exclusive, that's it. I can't sell that beat anymore. It's gone. Exactly. Like, it gets taken out of my website immediately.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you run the risk for a little bag, but
which is why it might be $500 for the exclusive.
yeah, you're paying at least a minimum $700.
But whatever you make off of that is 100% yours.
Yep.
You could do 10 videos if you want.
It's completely
super.
So it depends. So technically, if you're watching any of your art, it kind of depends on your budget and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if you feel strongly in the single, put up to $700. If you don't feel strongly, you have the opportunity to put $25 to $30, $40 to release it. And then after it breaks a certain amount of streams, you see it going up, you release it again.
That's a fact.
And you
This is why I say
the whole music business is about negotiation. So if you could renegotiate with a producer after the situation, then you're on the right track, right?
That's a fact. That's exactly why I say it's like a safety net. Because like if you don't have a true full campaign around this song and actually try to elevate or not going to put money behind it, just get the lease. But if you're that confident that you're going to put more than you're going to have a crazy budget for this song, you're safe for getting the exclusive, because what ends up happening is if you got 6 or 7 people leasing the same beat and one of them buys the exclusive,
you're done.
They done. And now
you're just running around with a copyrighted
song. But the thing is, legally, they can still run their lease term. They can still drop the song, but once that shit goes away, now they got to talk to the artist, not the producer. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it's a really competitive market. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to artist.
Right. So has any artist really tried to push a full campaign with a lease that you have done?
There's an artist that I actually, I made a couple beats for her. She goes by Cookie the HBIC.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to her.
Shout out Cookie.
She's supposed to be pulling up to approve soon.
Yeah. So she dropped a song called That One Night. She did like...
That pop star song? That song is fire.
I made that beat.
And that song is a hit. Like, that's a real...
We did that together,
That's
bro.
Saratoga music. If you can make a song for Saratoga, you
killed that,
out of here.
Bro. Like, the vibes was there. And I like working with Cookie because, like, we be goofing off in the studio, feel me? Like, it doesn't feel...
It's a great vibe.
It's just, we just be chilling, feel me?
That's fire.
But she's, like, for, like, an example, like, an artist, like, we try to kind of put this little package together, like...
For that beat, from that song?
She wanted several beats, actually.
Okay.
That's just one out of... maybe 4 beats that I sold her, I think. And, you know, all exclusive, you know what I mean? She had a vision, which helped me because, like, if you tell me, like, maybe a type beat like that and you don't have a vision, it's kind of hard to figure out what I should do.
Right.
But she knew she wanted something that was, like, house music. She wanted some, like...
She had the whole concept of vision in there.
Of every single song. You know what I mean? She wanted some Detroit shit. She wanted some, like, sexy red Glorilla type shit. So it's just like, okay, best, no more. That's all I got to do. And
that's fire. So what was did she record that song with you? There was the process, and then you saw her record it and all that?
Yeah, she recorded that. Like, we produced it. I made the beat, and then she booked time and came over and recorded it. So I engineered the song as well.
Right.
So it's like she's got a couple that she's got in the tuck, but that one that she dropped is the latest one that we dropped.
That's fire. Because I definitely seen her. She pulled up on the I think it's like Yo Who Dat with the phone. I think she did that. Right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Kind of like that was dope.
Her energy, her inflection, and her like delivery is like A1.
Right.
She just knows how to change her voice and do all these little quirky things, and it's just like she sounds fire.
So let's get into a little bit of just like some nerdy talk real quick.
Nerdy talk.
So as far as DAWs, you use Fruity Loops right now?
I use FL Studio and Studio One.
Studio One. Mm-hmm. So what type of what would you say like the best VST is right now? Like, I hear people talk about like Omnisphere. He tells me about stuff like that.
Like like VST instruments?
Yeah, like if you was a producer about to start right now, like what would you tell them to go that you could start with these sounds or whatever the case is?
There's a couple popular ones, but like Native Instruments.
Native Instruments.
They have like the new Complete 15 I think just came out. I forgot which one it was. But I bought Complete, which is like a suite of just all these instruments.
So it's Complete what?
I think it's the one that I forgot what it was, but it's called Complete 15, and it's it's complete with a K.
Okay.
Because Native Instruments, like they make
They're
the product.
Company that makes it.
They make Contact, which is like another player where you load the instruments in. But like a lot of their sounds is crazy. Like you could get like realistic guitar sounds, like keys, all kinds of stuff. But the one thing I've been like messing with, bro, is called Gofo's Master. I don't know if you're familiar with Gofo's, but it's a type of EQ. It's like a smart EQ that kind of has like this dynamic thing where it can actually tame harsh frequencies and smooth out a vocal. They have a version that you could put on your master bus, and it smooths the entire thing. Like it could read the transients and everything, and you can have it duck when it's like being too harsh.
Before it peaks and all that
bro,
kind of stuff.
And that combine that with the God particle, and you're pretty much good. That's your master bus, bro.
What you say? What particle?
The God particle. They're from a company called Cradle, and it looks like snake oil. You think
and this is all software?
Yeah, this is all VST, like VST plugins.
Right. So this is like this is like not Omnisphere. This is a bunch of different things that are kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
That's not better, like the newer stuff.
So like another good one, another good VST synth is Hive 2.
Hive 2.
Hive 2 is really, really good, bro.
And it comes with a bunch of sounds,
bro,
plugins,
like,
all kind of stuff.
Even some of the sounds by themselves be like inspiring as hell. Like you could hit one key and it starts like arpeggiating some crazy shit.
Right.
And you just hit one key and it sounds already like a melody.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? There's a couple really good plugins in the market right now, but a lot of the plugins, like I took advantage. Like as soon as like there was like all these Black Friday sales, bro,
you was just cashing
money,
out, right?
Bro. They took all my money.
I seen a bunch of stuff on sale, and then it's like when you look into those certain packages, a lot of them have like the breakdown of what you're actually buying. So it'd be like this VST or this sound is like $2, this is $10, this is $15, this is $20. So I mean that's definitely good to know, and I know a lot of people wonder like if they were about to start making beats. Where should
Listen, man, now more than ever, it's easier to get access to a lot of plugins because a lot of companies are going with that subscription base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you paying like $10, $20 a month. You know what I mean?
And $1,000 or $500,
and you get this bundle from Waves, and you got like the CLA vocals or compressor and all that stuff that you like to use, and you could have those plugins. Like, not saying that Waves is expensive. Like, they plugins are like $30. Like,
but if you buy the whole Waves bundle, it's not even that much.
You know what I mean? Same thing. Autotune, Antares is doing the same thing. They have a subscription model.
Pro.
You can get Autotune Pro, Autotune EFX.
Which one do you prefer?
EFX.
EFX?
And not even the new one. I actually had to look up and re-download the old version.
Okay.
The old EFX. I don't like the new one. The old EFX just had something to the sound. Like, I don't know what it was. It just made the vocal sound like squashed and squeaky, and it gave it that high fidelity sound.
People that are listening, Waves is more for vocal engineering mixing, and the VSTs and synths are more for sounds to make beats. Right?
Well, the thing is, everything is a VST.
So
you know what I mean? That's just the format of the plugin. You know what I mean? So like you have instrument plugins, like instruments. You have like independent plugins that process vocals. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But,
so in all these bundles, you could get even plugins to do any vocal as well as the sounds.
Because most of the dolls that you can make beats on, you can also record people, right? If you know.
Yeah. If not every single one.
I've seen people who are nice on Fruity Loop. I've always did Pro Tools, preferred Pro Tools, but I've seen people record people on Fruity Loops and they were nice.
Bro, I've seen people record on. I don't know if you know about this one. This is like some obscure DAW that a lot of people don't know about, but it's one called Mixcraft.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and they still going. And
that's crazy.
And you could still make music on that. You know, I've seen people use Ableton to make music.
Ableton, yeah.
Cubase is pretty good. I was using that for a little bit.
There's a bunch.
But Studio One, bro, as soon as that came along, that shit.
GarageBand used to have it. Like, what happened to GarageBand?
BandLab took over.
BandLab took over?
GarageBand is still good. It's literally Pocket Logic.
Yeah,
so what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I remember every Mac used to come equipped with GarageBand. Like, now you gotta have to pay for it. It doesn't even come with it no more.
It's crazy, but like now you could just like, bro, I've heard like immaculate mixes made with a phone,
right?
Like with BandLab, just because like there's literally now a community that makes presets for you to record on your phone with your AirPods, bro. Like it's crazy.
That's super dope. So let's talk about real quick your boy Mike Miller. I see you guys work a lot together. How's like you guys' relationship?
Bro, that's
like your videographer more than that's your friend. I understand you guys play video games and stuff
that's
together.
My brother, bro. That's family, bro.
That's super.
That's family. Like we be chilling a lot. We be thinking about. Actually, I gotta shout him out because like he's really like try to kind of hold me accountable to make content.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, cause he's big on that. Like, if you've seen any of his videos, like the food reviews, like he be saying some such shit, or he
the food reviews,
bro. Shit is funny, and you know he's in Arizona right now. He doesn't come back till the 10th, so he's over there making content.
That's super dope.
Doing all kinds of stuff, but he really kind of pushed me to say like you know what I mean, like to kind of get back into the content making.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's.
And you guys just linked up through the internet, or you just knew him?
Nah, it was funny. It was a situation where there was this spot in Schenectady that was opening up was kind of like a studio kind of thing, and they needed a videographer and they needed a producer for beats and stuff like that. It was like some kind of story that they were trying to build, some kind of like, I don't know if it was like a movie or a novel. It was kind of, I can't remember. But that's where I met Mike. And we both knew about each other. And this was years ago. We knew about each other, but we never met. So we've seen each other's work, you know what I mean? And I see how many people shout him out and how, you know what I mean? And the same thing, like, it's like you know about them, but you don't know them.
Right.
So that's when we started chopping it off, and it was like instant. We just been cool ever since.
Have you ever worked with Selly or Yari?
I worked with Yari, I think it was a long, long time ago. But I think it was a song that she did with Ruby Rich and Quilly. It was a long time ago.
Probably when she first started, huh?
I can't even say when she first started. At least I didn't know where she was at the time. But yeah, she came to the studio and I recorded her. But that was probably the first and last time. And Sally I haven't worked with ever. Like I think I hit him up not that long ago, and I was like, I sent him like a video of a beat that I made that was on some like sexy drill vibes and shit like that. And you know what I mean? Like I was just like, okay, he busy.
Who's like the 2-3 artists that you want to work with in 518 that you haven't worked with yet?
Like to work with Selly on a producer level, like just with the beats. You know what I mean? Like I know everybody got their own, you know, engineers and people that they've built chemistry with, but like definitely in terms of like beats and stuff, like I would like to work with Selly. Who else? I'm trying to think.
Because you worked with almost everybody. You worked with a lot of people that work.
But you see what? This is hard. You feel me? Like, it's just like,
I just seen 80 was in your studio. I seen fucking...
That's my guy,
you gotta
too.
be having a lot of people. You always working.
Yeah, like, and let me see. Definitely Jody. I would like to have at least... I don't have no beats with her.
Yeah.
I don't have no beat placement with her. I just don't know what type of time she be on. Like, one time she'll be doing, like, some type of music, and then the artist switches up, and your interest and the whole vibe could change.
Yeah, I think if you send her a beat and there's a hit, you're gonna go whatever the vibe is, you know?
Yeah. But like that's another thing too. She had made a post saying about how she wanted to get into like beat making and stuff like that. I'm like, let me know.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll set up the Discord. I'll show you how to make beats.
That's
you know what I mean? So that would be fire. But
yeah.
So do you have any beat? You said you do a lot of drill and sexy drill, but what is your favorite to make?
That's a good question. Honestly, bro, it's not even a beat. It's just
Whatever's the finishing product.
Anything that involves
sounds at the end.
Like I feel like anytime I play my guitar is really when I enjoy making it. Like because like I make I make beats so much like I almost like forget where my roots come from. You know what I mean? Because like I'm really a guitar player. I play like all kinds of music. So like sometimes I'll try to write a song and it'll be just an acoustic guitar or something, and I'm like, oh shit, I could make some like indie fucking folk type music for like a singer too. You know what I mean? Like that's when I like find out like, oh man, like I could make all this other music, but I just feel like who's gonna out here? It's kind of hard to pitch that because there's no one I know at least that's making that type of music.
Like what, Spanish music?
Not Spanish music, like more contemporary music, like pop. Or indie rock or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I could make that music. It's just I haven't had the opportunity.
You don't have the following yet neither, right? Because you don't know who's gonna get on it or who's gonna listen to it at this point.
And that's the thing. Like I could probably maybe drop a video or do a live and show like, hey, I'm trying to make this song. Who wants to get on it? Because the thing is, I make my own music. And the music that I make is the polar opposite of everything I produce.
Okay.
I don't rap, and I don't do.
I've heard songs and stuff.
You know what I mean? It's really on some sad piano vibes. That's the type of shit I be making, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Before we get up out of here, though, can you talk about how like Goldie inspired you and if like your relationship with Goldie before you passed RIP?
Bro, shout out my guy, bro. That was a hard one, bro. The city was hurting different when that happened. And it's crazy because like I've always had a soft spot for Goldie because like we were really close, and it's a little hard to talk about sometimes because it kind of brings me back a little bit.
Yeah.
But
that's why I
waited
to that.
Okay, so you know, me and Goldie, like we got really, really close, and the relationship that we had is like we wanted to get better so bad, and we were always experimenting. So we would get really nerdy about shit.
Right.
So I would call him at 4 a.m, and he would respond.
He's up.
And
in
then,
the studio.
and it's just me and him just sending each other mixes like it's Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, unreleased shit, no business sharing artist music. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's like
more
I trust
about the mix though. It's the sound.
it's about the
It wasn't even
mix.
about the artist.
And we trusted each other with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we also like what made the loss really difficult too is because like we built this bond, and he always like we co-signed for each other. You know what I mean? Like if I was ever like in a situation like that I can't book somebody or I'm out, like go to Goldie immediately.
Right.
Go to Goldie.
Right.
And he was the same thing with me. Like
That's
it was
fire.
like go to Smash. You know what I mean? So, you know, we had plans, all kinds of stuff that we wanted to do together. And then yeah, unfortunately, you know, that ended up happening. But we had a really, really, really good relationship. Like
Goldie was cool.
like I remember we would be up till like 4 a.m, and then he would I still have the zip folder of his unreleased album, and we were supposed to go together. I'm sorry, it's bothered me a little bit. We were supposed to go and sort through the songs and pick out the order that we wanted to do them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like there was just all these things that we wanted to do. You know what I mean? And I think what made it even harder is you know, we were both kind of going through some shit. We were both like in the same kind of spot. Yeah, that one definitely stung. And you know, I got Goldie as my wallpaper.
Yeah, shout out to Goldie.
Shout out
We were there a couple like weeks before the unfortunate, events or whatever the case may be. We were at his studio. We recorded with him. I mean, we didn't record, but I got my mixtape.
Yeah.
Mixed from
He was
him and shit,
goated, bro,
like,
and he had so much going. He had so much
he
going.
was just so. Like,
He was mad humble.
He was mad. He was
cool.
full of life.
The best soul, bro. The kindest fucking soul.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I went down to Troy because they were. It was when Goldie's mom and Lonnie, his sister, they were cleaning up the studio.
Okay.
And that shit just when I went there, just like it was like a demolition site, just fiberglass everywhere. They were trying to figure out, and I was helping them out, trying to take shit down. And initially, I went there to buy because they were trying to get rid of stuff. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I ended up getting the acoustic panels that he made.
That he handmade.
Those are in my studio now.
That's fire.
And his desk.
That's fire.
Because they couldn't figure out, like, oh, shit, like the desk. And I asked them, how much you want for it? You know what I mean? I'll take it.
Right.
And I'll
Whatever
figure it out.
you couldn't afford, you was just trying to take it.
I was just trying to, like, you feel me? And now it just feels like we got a piece of gold. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. But shout out my guy, bro.
Shout out to Goldie, man.
So, get off on a light note.
Mm-hmm.
What made you pick your producer name?
I didn't even pick it.
No?
No. I didn't pick that name. And at first I thought it was corny as hell, but it stuck.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But it was right during the time I wanted to start making beats. And I wanted to put a beat tape out, like with that lo-fi genre that I was talking about earlier. And I got the songs, and I'm like, I'm about to drop this on DistroKid. Oh, wait, I don't even got a name. like they asking for who's the artist name, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Do I just use my regular name? Like, what do I do? So my guy, who's my friend, he goes by Luis Rivera. Mm. But he was also, like, during that time, a content creator, so he used to go by Nito LR. Okay. And we were both, like, super Smash Brother enthusiasts. Like, we played the game. My name, my producer tag is literally a mechanic of that game. You know what I mean? So, like, the M Smash, I had to make it shorter because Meteor Smash was the full name. Mm-hmm. Meteor Smash is a mechanic in the game. It's literally when you get spiked out of stage.
Yeah.
It's literally what it is.
Like the knockout shit.
Yeah, it's literally, if you're trying to come back on stage and you get hit, you get spiked down.
That's fire.
So it's like, it's stuck. And at first I was like, I gotta switch that up, bro. And now I just can't.
And you a gamer, right? You fuck with Black Ops. You fuck with...
Yeah, but Smash is still number one. Smash Brothers is still, like, top tier.
You might have to have attorney or some shit.
So you had the producer tag already before you started working with your artists?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why it's stuck. It's just like, and I didn't think about it for the future. I thought it was just like for the album. Like, you know what I mean? But then you start getting into beat making and you're like, oh shit, I need a tag. I need a something. Right. You know what I mean? I realized like you got a lot of prod this, prod that, like, and then it's just like, oh, okay, I got to figure that out. Just shorten it. Just like M.Smash, and that's it. That's
fire.
pretty much what it became. I didn't pick it.
That's fire.
Word. So, yo, we appreciate you pulling up, man.
Yeah.
Another episode of Approved. He had Approved Network.
Yes, sir.
Shout out my boy Smash. You know what I mean? Shout out my boy over here.
Hell yeah.
Sound
Shout out
Pro,
Approved Network. Thank y'all for having
Solo,
me.
whatever you want to call him. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Smash.
Of course.